roped in.
So I want to come to you, Zani. Winston's told us a little bit about like his upbringing and the challenges he kind of faced, right? To a lot of people who see you, who watch you, they have a preconceived idea of you and how you were raised. According to the typical man on the street, you grew up in a castle. Your life was nice the whole time. You lived a very sheltered life. You went to the best schools. You've had all the opportunities in the world. Some might think you used to herd cattle back in Nkandla. You know what I mean? What kind of life did you have from origin to the point where you got to where you are today?
It's been a life on the run, basically, from then and up until now. So being born in exile, there's people got different stories. There's some that may have been born in Europe, in Asia, the US, whatever the need dictated at the time, and others in Africa.
Yeah.
As much as people were going through some tough times within South Africa, there was people who were stationed outside. You're talking about the people that were fighting for our development, our freedom.
Yeah.
And I always look at it as a privilege to have been born outside of South Africa, to South African parents. And the reason for that is it's given me a whole outlook, completely different outlook to what life is, what society is, what mind frame is, what frequency is from different people.
Yeah.
So growing up in countries like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and then living in other places in different parts of the world up until now in my ripe old age, of 41. The lessons that have been taught, when I say on the run, is I've never had a chance to settle. There's never been a good few years where I've sat and just enjoyed whatever it is that I needed to enjoy. Life, trappings, family, because it was always on to the next one. Mm-hmm. If you look at friendships, there's, I envy people that have, I grew up with this dude. I've known him since he was 4. I don't have that. I don't know where most of these guys are.
Why are you laughing at these Mozambican Zimbabwean guys?
It's so serious because
they're moving around.
I'm speaking emotionally. This man is having a good chuckle. What's going on, Tsitsi?
Tsitsi, an idiot.
And he's done. And he forgets
laughing. He's also from Zimbabwe and he's laughing.
I'm not from Zimbabwe.
The name Tsitsi is from Zimbabwe. Carry on. Anyway. Me, I'm here for you.
Naftal.
Anyways, the moving constantly has created, at least in my being, the strength to, the willingness to adapt. I'm an adapting kind of person. Mm-hmm. When they say adapt or die, I'm poster child for adapting. I've had to adapt multiple times in my life. As we speak now, I'm adapting. I'm
morphing into the whatever, morphing into like a young,
into a politician. And now I can. Now that I have morphed into this new, that development has been probably my superhero power. Wherever in the world you place me, I'm able to adapt. In the middle of Caucasiaville, in the middle of Tutsis and Hutus, in the middle of Hindus, and you name it, I'm able to adapt. Because it's being able to have grown up around an environment where there's different people, different cultural backgrounds, different traditions, races, religion. And, if you look at the Mozambican story where I grew up, it was, initially in the developmental stages of my life, it was an international school, where it was people from different parts of the world. So the silver spoon paintbrush, that people like painting, is the furthest thing from the truth. It's been hard. We understand later on in life when we look back at the struggles. And, when you look back as an adult, we all, okay, not all of us, some of us are, you definitely parents, and you look back and you're like, there's certain things that you've seen, you've heard, conversations where you're like, okay, that's what that was. Yeah. That's what that meant.
Yeah. And how was that emotionally for you, like going through all those adaptations? And I'm sure most of them were something that you didn't choose to have to go through.
Sure. It's tough, as as like anyone else, as someone coming up as a young buck, things, understanding that, the situation in the home is difficult. Not being able to just go to the kitchen and open up the fridge. There's rules. Over a period of time, you realize, actually, it wasn't because of anything, but parents are trying to shield the difficulties of the time, as opposed to what they are now. So those sorts of things are experiences that, as an elder, as a parent, I look at, and what it's done for me emotionally I've been able to tune myself into understanding what the upbringing and how that has transpired into who I am in society now. It's not a final product, but it's something that I'm definitely working on. Not from wealth, not from poverty as well. It was just regular Joe stuff, just outside of the country. It was tough because you'd see things that you're not supposed to see, being on the move, and you only understand them late in life. Okay, people are actually fighting for a reason. It wasn't just us, we were not diplomats, moving around. We're not, wealthy people just trying to have a global experience.
You're surviving.
Yeah, that's what it is. So that's why when initially when you asked me to introduce myself, that's why I'm saying I'm a boss. I'm not trying to sound like I'm trying to be too, up there, fancy, but I've earned my stripes. I sit here today. I've walked experiences that some people may not have walked, and I'm able to stand on my own.